Trudeau is now going to listen to Biden. Biden now has the final word on what you should do if someone is protesting peacefully. Biden, the same guy who in the summer of 2020 decided that he would allow people to burn down, streets and businesses and create all kinds of problems.
Okay, obviously, as many acknowledge, there's a bit of a problem with that. Joe Biden was not president in 2020. Now, that is a fact that I guess we can't expect Jeanine Pirro to be familiar with since it hasn't yet been printed on the label of a bottle of Pinot Grigio. But it is kind of seemingly important that he had no ability to stop it. And by the way, let's say that she backtracks and says, okay, I misspoke. What I meant was that he was supportive of it. Was Joe Biden marching like in downtown LA? Who thinks that Joe Biden was supportive of those protests? Absolutely madness, Dan.
Noted Antifa member Joe Biden, who is further to the left than Bernie Sanders or Kamala Harris or Elizabeth Warren on racial justice.
Yeah, I don't.
And was elected on such a stance. Yeah, sure, whatever. Not like it matters.
But no, there's no expectation for even understanding who was president like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. It wasn't ancient history. This isn't like, as you were alluding to, like remembering exactly what positions Sean Hannity took during Occupy Wall Street. It was like a day ago. It just happened, Jeanine.
Everyone's talking about COVID. Everyone's saying COVID-19 was, it feels like 2020 has just been one long year. Yeah, think of it. It was just like one long year, like a day ago, like a month ago. Like it's recent stuff for a news person to be able to know. So it's just a fundamental just abandonment of their jobs.
Exactly. Now, I wanna go just a little bit further because that is the part of the video that understandably people focus on and mock, as I just did. But let's take a little bit of a listen to what she said immediately after that.
When they start going after people's money, understand these truckers work very hard. They are salt of the earth. And they are not people who have a lot of money. They can't afford to protest. They really can't. But they're all about freedom. They're the heroes that we loved when we needed all of those things delivered to us. Yep. Now you're marginalizing them. Now you're really teeing them off. They haven't done anything. There isn't any kind of problem other than then maybe somebody had a flag. Well, that's going to happen in any group. But I think that this is going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, I love the casual brushing off of like the swastika flags. It'll happen in any group. I know. I have people, get together sometimes play board games. There's always one swastika flag guy in every group, Dan. But anyway,
it's always the guy who's a little too edgy in Cards Against Humanity. We know.
Exactly. The dude who's like playing Secret Hitler, but like laughing at all the wrong points. But anyway, yeah. And look, so you get the same sort of mixes with Sean Hannity. So now you're really teeing them off. I mean, they've totally not committed any crimes, but if they do, clearly I'm telling you what position I'm gonna have on that. If they begin killing people. Which again, there's no reason that they would or should, but they don't seem to be that worried about it. And then you also have they're the salt of the earth, which is an interesting saying. Of course, salt has the characteristic of being white, and what do you know? The people that get to be labeled as salt of the earth tend to be as well. So truckers are salt of the earth. Anything they do, we don't have to actually look at it. We don't get to say, is this actually in line with what most people think? Is this in line with the science? No, they're salt of the earth. If they say it, it is freedom with a capital F. But if you're a different sort of protester with a different sort of message or movement, you're not salt of the earth. You're a leftist radical. You're an Antifa. We don't have to listen to you. Take a look at these like little rhetorical tools they use to shut down critical thinking. Any other thoughts, Dan?
Yeah, you're a lot right on all those different things there. Like I am hopefully going to use this opportunity of Jeanine Pirro and all these other people defending these kinds of protests and what they're doing the next time leftists or anyone even in the center do any kind of basic protest for general human rights, or the laws that are supposed to be practiced in this country being put in place and into practice for people. I'm gonna point it. No, Sean Hannity says, hey, listen, cops might have guns on the street, and so people might have people on the street. So hey, whatever happens, happens. These are Sean Hannity's words about protests. Hey, and Jeanine Pirro says, listen, you're gonna see some weird flags in places. Sometimes things happen. You know, we all have friends. This is a Jeanine Pirro quote right here. So Jeanine Pirro, noted member of Antifa. That's just how it's gonna go. Maybe I'll twist it that way because I like doing that for fun. But ultimately, I'm running out of ways to figure out how to take moments of hypocrisy like this and weaponize it back against them.
You are right to. I will join you in that. That won't stop them, of course. But we will stick to our metaphorical guns, which we prefer. Although Dan has been known to brandish actual firearms on the show. In any event, before we go to our break, I just want to read one quote from an article in Fortune. It just, oh God, it broke my heart. So they're profiling a bunch of the protesters, and one, Jake Klassen, is a 39-year-old who's been a truck driver for nearly 2 decades and drives 3 weeks of the month hauling loads to the US as an owner-operator. He said, I want to be able to have my own choice. He said he hasn't been able to visit his 9-year-old daughter in months. She's receiving palliative care at Saint Amant, a care residence in Winnipeg. But due to restrictions that require visitors to be fully vaccinated, Klassen and his wife can't see her. Quote, this is something worth fighting for. So he has a 9-year-old that has been in care for months. They could get vaccinated and then be able to see her. And I can only imagine how terrified she must be and how lonely she must be. But this is pitched as, how dare the government stop us from potentially bringing a deadly virus into a place where they're desperately trying to keep COVID out. And yes, things are worth fighting for. In this particular situation, is this how you should be? Get the damn shot. You can still protest against mandates, by the way. If you get vaccinated, did you know that? You can do it. Supposedly that's what the WASP does. But anyway, just get it so you can be with your kid. These people are absolutely mental, and it didn't have to happen. Who thinks that Jake Klassen, if the right-wing media internationally hadn't lost their minds during the pandemic, that he would have ended up like, no matter what, there is no universe. I don't care what Dr. Strange says. There is no universe where I'm not gonna see my kid. Just madness what they've led people, the road that they've led people down.
It really hurts. Like there was a story in the LA Times, I'll go really quickly, where a police officer, and you know the rates of cops and their rate against like being against vaccines, unfortunately, because they deal with people so much, got married, and his wife caught COVID more or less with the pregnant daughter, and they had to, like, the guy had to make a choice. Oh no, if my wife and kid don't get vaccinated, one or both of them might die. And he's actually waffling between this choice. It's devastating, these real world consequences that these right-wingers, that these misinformation has on people. And so it's devastating, but I don't want to lose sight of that.
Yeah, no, good point.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.